We have Dr. Srinivas Sirlonkar with us, who's a renowned journalist and an author of 21 books. Welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, thank you.
So, how do you feel coming to our show? It's first time experience of mine also. So,
I see. But not for me. I have, in fact, I have interviewed so many people in studios, Doordarshan studios, and this kind of open interview and open discussion, it's very rare for me.
uh-huh.
It's a kind of new experience for me also. So interviewing in the studio is different from interviewing in outdoor.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So, you said it's that you are a journalist.
Yeah.
So, how did you start your career, and what are the channels you have been, and whom did you interview, sir?
No, in my times of journalism, that is in 1980, early 1980s,
Oh, okay.
it was a different kind of journalism. What we see is totally different in the last 40-45 years. A lot of transformation. So much of water has flown under rivers. And interestingly, the commitment for the profession that we had in those days is by and large not to be seen these days. And another major motto for coming to profession of journalism is to serve the society. So it is a newspaper or journalism profession is an effective instrument for the transformation of the society. So that was the basic idea, and that was the basic thought philosophy of journalism. That I think is no more these days.
Definitely, sir, because nowadays we see more scandals in the journalism more than politics or any other field. So, how do you feel now watching this recent channels or newspapers which are, politically obliged to one of the party in India? So, what are your views on this?
No, the profession of journalism, the basic crux of modern journalism is its commercialization. So it was not to be seen in my days.
Okay.
And there was no television channels also, except Doordarshan, there were no other private channels. So when this privatization, globalization and these things opened up in 1991, then the things started changing drastically.
Okay.
Not for good, sometimes for good, most of the times for bad. That's what I personally feel. But by and large, the kind of journalism in these days, the pursued by both electronic media and print media, though it's a divide of principles and values, but still in a democracy, they are discharging their duties satisfactorily, that's what I say.
Okay. There was a time where the scams used to be exposed, and we had a time in 1992, for example, where Sucheta Dalal, such a bold journalist, gave the true colors of Harshad Mehta. And these are the days where some of the television media are showing some bad influencers and interviewing them, and just like some other channels. I don't want to mention the names. So, how do you feel now? And is there anything that would correct such things, or what do you feel, sir, about this?
No, I am strictly speaking, I am not acquainted with electronic journalism,
Okay.
particularly visual journalism. Though there were so many offers for me in visual kind of journalism, private channels and other things, but basically I was not interested in it. I was interested only print journalism. But and my mindset is totally accustomed to it. I cannot divert my attention to other things. Despite of having offers, I didn't go for that. But I rarely watch television, to speak frankly.
Okay.
What I watch regularly is only one program, that weekly 1 hour, that is Doordarshan, that is Rangoli program.
Uh-huh.
That's the only program I have been seeing from the last 35 years.
Okay.
Recently, I have not seen any programs on television. I definitely will watch when the presentation of budget and then the no confidence motion or confidence motion. So this kind of things keep watching.
Okay.
Not every day. No, I don't watch everything. But what I pursue, what I hear, and what I read from the kind of electronic medium these years, they are simply after sensationalism.
Definitely, sir.
There is
Now,
nothing.
for a channel, if we take an example, Nowadays, this television media has become so much behind this breaking news and if there's nothing also, then they give something as breaking news. There was a time when we just used to take the newspaper in the morning and read it, and that used to be the news. Now every moment is a news only.
See, the kind of what is breaking news? What I say, sometimes I watch on the television. If the chief minister leaves his office
Yeah.
and goes to airport, that becomes breaking.
Breaking news, definitely.
What is the breaking news? So all kind of all not so important things, they're all creeping into the electronic media. And the difficulty for them is to run the channel.
Definitely.
24/7 channel. That is the greatest difficulty. One. Second thing is, if they don't sensationalize, the TRP rate will go down. So one of my good friend is a very well-known TV journalist in Kannada. So I used to argue with him, though he agrees with my my thoughts, but his hands are tied down. He said we can't do anything because we have to compete with the others. So in the competition, they forget so many things, they sacrifice so many values, and they give up so many principles. That is the kind of journalism that is going on in India. I don't think it will not survive long. Very shortly it will come down, and we will switch back to the traditional journalism, print media journalism. I sincerely feel like that.
But even in this growing generation where everything is like now, if the media is not so active with some things, then the social media is definitely active, because as you can see, the news that is not even spread in the television media, that is spread in the social media meme pages. Now, for example, if there are any rape cases or any political crisis in the state, then some of the medias which are politically influenced won't publish that. But social media publishes it more likely to publish it very easily. So I guess social media has also become a kind of like paper media only, according to me, because they won't influence with anybody.
No, social media, okay. As you observed, it is independent, it is doing something, people are also watching, it is influencing people. That's all okay. But what is the credibility of social media?
Credibility.
That is very important for any media. The
Yes.
greatest asset is credibility.
That's
Why
why
people used to read Indian Express in those days? Whatever appears in Indian Express, for example, I am telling you, whatever appears in Indian Express, it was a gospel for so many people.
Okay.
That kind of credibility, building that credibility, is nowhere to be seen in any media, including social media. Social media, there are so many channels, so many things, and what kind of, I don't know, I don't know, today I do not really know what should I watch in social media.
Okay.
Whatever it comes, I keep watching.
That's there, sir.
Ah.
Now social media is more likely have become like it's not supply on demand. It's demand on supply. Like if now you take an example of Facebook only. If you like something, for example, if you like something about politics, then the whole day you get off politics. If you like something about pictures, then definitely you will get off pictures. And then the best part of social media, according to me, is it is helping so many businesses, and it takes somebody, if there is somebody really in need help or something, then it will take up. So I don't think so that the other part of journalism, such as print media or the television media, are so credible to get in so easily and get the things done.
See, there are three basic functions of any media.
Okay.
One is information, education, and entertainment. These are the basic part and parcel, inseparable parts of any media, any mass media. I really do not know whether the social media or the electronic media, do they follow these three basic functions of it. Education, entertainment, and information. These three, they have to discharge it. The combination of all these three will become a complete
Media.
media duty, media projection. But anyhow, things are changing. Some things are changing for the better, but more things are changing for the bad. So we have to accept there is no other way to go.
Sir, and the other thing is, in your days of journalism, so what was your designation and what were your duties and work?
See, in those days, for a journalist working in a official area or a district headquarter was different from a journalist working in a published a center where paper is published. In a publication center, there will be a specific assignment for a journalist. The chief reporter or the resident editor or whoever is in charge of the bureau, he will give assignment and they will be after the assignment. For those who are working at different places, they don't have any assignment. They have to themselves work freely.
Okay.
There are so many things. So I have come in that kind of trade. I have never worked in a publication center. I have never worked in the desk.
Okay.
I worked as a reporter only throughout my career. That's the greatest advantage for me. I enjoyed it fully. Therefore, what I feel is a correspondent working at a district headquarters will be far, far better than a correspondent working in a place like Bangalore or big cities or metropolis. Because he knows so many things. They will be knowing only few things. Because they will be always after the events. But whereas an independent journalist, he has to find out what is what. So for him, sky is the limit. He can make stories on agriculture, he can make some rural development, he can make some crime, whatever it is. But in the publication center, whatever is assigned to him, but there are journalists. I too have worked for 3 years in Bangalore. Apart from doing assignments, I used to do independent stories also. So that kind of difference is there. But print media by and large, it enjoys the greatest credibility even today. See, whatever you see in the television, in the news channel, most of the things do not find in place in media the next day. Because they won't filter the things in the electronic media. They come as it is and they telecast them. So we have to take whatever appears in electronic with a pinch of salt. Unlike print media, we accept it. So it's true. There is something. We don't believe that kind, whatever appears in the television, but we believe whatever appears in a newspaper. That is the basic difference between print media and electronic media. And there is a credibility gap between print media and electronic.
And I would definitely agree with you for the credibility of print media, as now we can see so many people prepare for the examinations, government exams or any other aspirants. They won't prefer television media's news, and they prefer the paper media, and the very next day they first take up the paper and they extract the current affairs from the paper or the magazine, as you told, the print media, and not the television media, because everything is spontaneous in the television media. So I would definitely agree to you. And my next question to you is, like, as you were in the journalism, what was your vision at the first of journalism, that you wanted to achieve so things at the end of your career, and now did you achieve it?
By and large,
Okay.
I am satisfied, but not fully.
Okay.
I still have the feeling that I could have done more, and that feeling should be there for every creative journalist.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
There cannot be complacency, there cannot be saturation as regards your working is concerned. For instance, I have made quite a lot of earth-breaking stories. I don't want to boast myself. To give one example, I tell you, what happened now here in this part of the state, which is called Kalyana Karnataka, Gulbarga division area. It's a highly tropic region this is. Hardly the presence of forest is less than 3% in the entire region. When they were constructing the national highway from Humnabad to Bijapur, 240 kilometers national highway, they were planning to axe 35,000 trees.
Oh,
35,000 trees, full grown trees.
that's really miserable, sir.
And that is according to the environment assessment report carried by the professional agency for the national highway authorities.
Oh.
This I came to know, I studied it, I made a story. Fortunately, it appeared in Bangalore edition. And in the morning, when the Chief Justice of Karnataka was sipping coffee, he came across my story.
Oh,
He felt very astonished and very bad. And he marked it and called his secretary, file it as a PIL. He already. So it became a public interest litigation, my story. And High Court issued notice to central government, state government, forest department, environment department, national highway authority. There were 8 to 10 respondents were there. And what happened in that case now? A amicus curiae was appointed. He came here. He talked to me and he talked to the, other people. Court gave an interim injunction.
okay.
Normally, in public interest litigation, no interim injunction is given. But in this case, an interim injunction is given. Not a single tree should be touched till the disposal of the case. So it went on for 2.5 years. Ultimately, they relooked, they reconsidered the whole project,
Okay.
and they filed an affidavit before the court stating that yes, we will cut only 2,000 trees. In that way, the number of trees, actual number of trees saved was 33,466.
This is really inspiring, sir. Yeah.
And this is the rarest thing, the first of its kind of report happening in India, not only in Karnataka. An ordinary journalist is capable of doing this kind of work. That's what I want to say, not that I have done this. Everybody should do it, and everybody has potential, and everybody has a will. Therefore, the kind of environment that we are pursuing these days, in the name of development, you see what is happening in Himalayas, what is happening in Uttarakhand, what is happening in Himachal Pradesh. Why these are things are happening? For the sake of development, we are sacrificing nature. So whatever development is there, it should in tune with the nature. It should in tune with the environment. We have to learn to live with the environment, not against it. We shall never try to conquer environment. So these kind of stories, I have done a lot of in my. This one example I gave.
This is really
classic example.
This is an inspiring thing, sir. Definitely, because the Chief Justice watching the story and
Vikramjit Singh was the Chief Justice at that time.
Oh.
He was elevated to Supreme Court in subsequent days. He did a wonderful thing. He was a
Definitely.
very sensitive man.
No, people don't have courage these days to write on the government directly, and when we speak about this Kalyan Karnataka part, so my question is very simple now. Why is Kalyan Karnataka still very behind than the other part of the country, that is south and north? Dharwad and Hubli is bit developed, but Kalyan Karnataka is still left behind, and we were not given the development, but rather than development, we were given a reservation called as 371 J2. So, like, why is still Kalyan Karnataka not developed, and why are no projects are recently done to Gulbarga especially, except for the ESIC?
So there are so many reasons for the underdevelopment of the region. It's very difficult to point out a single particular region. There are historical regions, there are political reasons, there are cultural reasons, so many reasons are there. And the primary reason is that this entire Hyderabad, Karnataka, what you call this, except Ballari, they were ruled by for 600 years. From 1347, when the Brahman kingdom was established in Gulbarga, 1347, to 1947, India got independence. Totally 600 years. Here our language was crushed, our culture was crushed, our all other things were crushed. And development was given a go by the rulers. I don't want to name the rulers. Obviously, everybody knows.
Definitely, yes, sir.
So, on the other hand, the princely state of Mysore was progressing like anything, because Maharajas were very kind and the Diwans were very good, like Diwan Rangacharlu, like Saryam Vishweshwaraya, Mirza Ismail, and they tried very hard to build up that country, Mysore country. But here nobody was there. And subsequently, when we attained independence in 1947, actually we got independence in 1948 on September 17, 13 months later, because the Nizam refused to integrate with the Union of India, and there has to be some force from the Indian government. That's all everybody knows. So this is an accumulated backwardness. This is an accumulated underdevelopment for 600 years. So how to go about it? That is the greatest challenge before everybody. Now, in 2013 or 14, a constitutional interference was sought here, and a special provision was made through Article 371J that all those provisions which are made, they cannot be questioned in the court of law. That Constitutional Amendment Act came into force in 2013. So a separate board was created, statutory board was created called Kalyana Karnataka Development Board. And two major things. One is the reservation in education and employment. So these three are the basic factors now. Okay. But how to go about the development? I do agree, maybe you others also agree that our students have got a lot of opportunities in education, particularly engineering education, medical education, dental education, other professional education, through this enabling provision of reservation. Even outside this region also, there is 8% reservation. For example, BMC is the #1 medical college. Our students will get 8% reservation in BMC. So this has helped a lot to students. I don't want to deny all those things. In fact, they cannot be denied also. But development aspect, yes, we have failed to address it.
Sir, you speak about the 600 years. I am a new generation. So I would just take the things after 1948. It's been almost 75 plus years of the government. So still it's in the pre-independence era only, Gulberg. No, nothing. Like, I would agree that we have industries such as cement factories and other plants, ethanol plants, etc. That and all is definitely okay. But the infrastructure Mysore gets, Bangalore gets, and Hassan and other South Karnataka part which gets. Now, let's take example of Hubli Dharwad only. There's so much of development in the current region. And here, when we take just an example of Vande Bharat only, it was released to Hubli and Dharwad and to Mysore and not to Gulbarga, whereas we have trains there. So when it comes from the train to road development, in all the regions, the region of Kalyan Karnataka has been behind only. So what do you think? Is this a political aspect or why?
This is essentially a political problem. Nothing more, nothing less. There are no, a lot of credibility gap, what I talked about the media. So there is a credibility gap among the leaders. The kind of leadership that we have elected in these decades, that is the greatest problem now. Because no leader is bothered about the development, irrespective of party. Though they claim a lot of things. Of course, funds are available. Now freely funds are available. But we don't know how to use the funds. We simply blame the government. How can we keep on blaming the government for each and everything? That a provision is made, when a board is formed and funds are made available, how best we can utilize them. It depends on us, not on the government. So there has to be a very unqualified political will to develop the region. I have been telling them, two things are very important for the development of the region. One is the proper infrastructure creation. Second is the human development. There has to be a direct attack on improving the human development of the region. Human development is very, very bad. The Karnataka human development is not going along with the other states, forward states, because these 6-7 districts are not developed. Even Bihar states are developed. Bihar is developing these days, but this part of the state is not developing properly as per the plans. This is due to lack of political will and committed political leadership and visionary leaders. We could not produce the visionary leaders in this region, and we are suffering from that.
But still, sir, it feels so bad to come back, and when it comes to IT sector at least, it feels so bad for the people to go to Bangalore and Mysore and now currently I would not take the names, but Kalyan Karnataka already has 4 ministers in the current government. So I hope at least one IT company should be published or should be done in Gulbarga. We have the QNX where other who are really well-versed companies only go there, because it's very costly. Per seat it's 10,000 rupees and no startup can afford that. Whereas where I have an office in the Mysore, which is for only 6,000 rupees for 650 square feet. So that is like almost 5,000 plus 1,000. And every district in the South Karnataka has an incubation center where the incubation is given for free for development of any startups. So Kalyan Karnataka don't have any such facilities.
So that's what I say, this is due to lack of vision. What is actually going on other parts of the state, our leaders do not know. And what actually is needed according to the changing times, that's also they don't know. And who should do that? Ourselves should do that, not the chief minister or somebody else or governor. They are looking after the entire state and they have made the provision. The central government has amended the constitution, state government is providing funds. And our leaders are elected like any other leaders. Our MPs have been elected. Our man has become Congress president. Our man has become opposition leader in the Rajya Sabha. And what else? We have produced 2 chief ministers. And we have produced so many ministers. As I said, there are 4 ministers from region. Not once upon a time, there were 6 ministers from Gulbarga district only. When S.M. Krishna was chief minister, there were 6 ministers from Gulbarga district alone.
Oh.
This is nothing to do with the development. The political representation of a particular region, I don't think is directly proportional to the development of the state or development of the region.
Sir, I would give you just one instance of how Gulbarga is underdeveloped. There happens thousands and 2,000 events per month in Bangalore and Mysore that will be conducted by government of Karnataka, and ministers go, IAS officers go, IPS officers go visit, and there are VCs, that is there's people where we get the funds and run the company. Here there was an event which was about to happen. It has been delayed for 6 months just because there was no availability of the minister. And my question is very simple to the organizers or anybody. When the minister is not ready, then you can just conduct it by yourself and finish up the event. When there is no connections and you don't make any connections with the people, then how would the city grow?
So that's what I have been here for the last 3.5 decades. I have been watching, I have been observing closely, distantly, and with all the educational institutions also. So that is the problem with it is the lack of commitment and the lack of focused attack on underdevelopment and backwardness. No ideas, no vision, nothing. And how we should instill all these things among our leaders? Tell me.
So now
They are all worried about, pursuing their leadership. They are worried about the next election. They are not worried about the next generation. All the leaders are worried about the next election. When they don't, they least bother about the generations, present or future, and the sufferings, the sufferers are the people. And everybody is playing adjustment politics. No ideology, nothing of the sort. Our former President Abdul Kalam used to say, if there has to be a politics, there has to be a development politics only, not other politics. You do the politics and development only, about development only. So that thing is not imbibed by our leaders. So this is the greatest. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಥಾ ಯಥಾ ರಾಜ ತಥಾ ಪ್ರಜಾ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸರಿನೋ, ಜನ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಜನಗಳ ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಯಾರು, ಹೂ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬ್ಲೇಮ್? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ there is a whole lot of things involved, very, very, very complex issue, very, very composite issue, a very, very difficult issue, very, very riddled in so many things. Even I can say that these things should be done. Yes, they agree, but they cannot do it.
Definitely.
I can talk to anybody, any leader, any minister, these are the things you should do, not me, even the development politicians, even the development economists. They are all telling, they are writing. And the Nanjandappa committee has recommended specifically. So many other committees are recommended specifically. So many things have been told about. So many things have been written about. What else could be done?
So what do you think, sir? When shall this be implemented or developed? Do you have any vision that Kalyan Karnataka may be developed in how many decades
Our
more?
political culture should change.
Okay.
It depends on the younger generation, not on the my generation. This is your generation. The responsibility lies on you people. And yes, things are very slow. Changes take place. Not I don't say changes do not take place, but very slow. That good changes, not bad changes. Bad changes are taking place very fast in this region. And one area that has improved to some extent is health facilities. They have improved a lot in Gulbarga, particularly in the cardiovascular diseases. The very good hospital is coming, Jaydev Hospital, 350-bedded hospital. That man was kind enough, Dr. Manjunath, and our people also pursued it. And we have very good cancer hospital. And other things are also there. Now we are starting trauma center also. ESI hospital is there. Private hospitals are there. It's okay, but they are commercialized. Apart from the government establishment, other hospitals are commercialized. That should be checked effectively. Likewise, this kind of development should be reflected in other sectors also, particularly education. I keep telling, this is a high time we stop talking about right to education. It is a high time we start talking about right to quality education. Nowhere to be seen quality education in any part of this Kalyan Karnataka. That much I can say.
So the last question I have is, what is the current scenario of the politics in Karnataka, and what do you think would happen in the next 5 years? Because there are so many questions arising that this government will stay or the government will change. So what are your views on this?
No, sometimes what happens, no, these are all the media creations. Media is also not bothered about the real issues. They are always bothered about the politics and politicians. If some politicians say something about other colleague, they will go and there get his reaction. How these things are directly connected to people? Why are you not projecting on development? Why they are not projecting on human development? Why they are not projecting on creation of infrastructure? And these development should come on the first priority of the media. Then only we can have some kind of, at least some development. Otherwise, keep on focusing on politics and politicians, it takes us nowhere. That much I can say.
Thank you for coming to our show, sir. So this is the episode 4, week 4 of Insights with Sujay, and sir have given us a lot of real insights of his journalism days and the Kalyan Karnataka's development. I hope the development happens as soon as possible. Thank you for coming to our show, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.